Does it perhaps get everywhere, that sand? Actually, before I start, let me do the wheel before I forget. Let's get that done. What do we get today? Hmm, not as good. Not as good as last night, unfortunately. You are not big winner today. Let's go change that. So 98 to 100. There we go. Okay. I think it's better than plus 5 billion. Your number keeps growing every stream. Every stream you just exaggerate more and more. It does, especially with my streaming schedule these days. But I'm committing. I'm going back to my normal stream schedule now. I'm gonna do my hardest, especially with starting Disco Elysium tomorrow. I'm so fucking excited about that. Also a bit scared, but mostly excited. But also, goddamn, that game is gonna kill me. Okay, so last time we dealt with the Pendleton twins, and now we need to go get ourselves a royal physician. You've been asked to abduct Anton Sokolov, the royal physician and head of the Academy of Natural Philosophy. Your new allies want to obtain from Sokolov the name of the Lord Regent's mistress, a mysterious ally, and one of his most powerful noble supporters. Sokolov lives in a large apartment somewhere atop Caldwin's Bridge. So let's go do that. Hey,
I know you
Samuel.
don't have much time, but don't forget to upgrade your gear with Piero, if you like.
Pretty sure we did that last
Off to
time, so
Caldwin's
very good.
Bridge, sir. We'll get our sleep later.
The one time it has traumatized me, I feel like I'm more prone to get it now that I've gotten it once. Oh, the wheel thing, yeah. Yeah, that was rough.
Just climb aboard when you're ready.
Alrighty then, let's put on the mask. Oh, that was a cut, okay. Let's do this. I remember this mission being
What do
somewhat
you
fun,
think,
like the
Corvo?
layout was very fun.
Caldwin's Bridge. You've been in the city for years, but you lived in Gunwall Tower with the late Empress, so maybe you haven't visited the bridge before tonight. Something to look out for. See all them lights on the water? That's right, we'll be spotted for sure. You're gonna have to shut off their power before I can pick you up.
I see.
Now, about bringing Sokolov back alive, he's smart. Maybe even smarter than Piero. Got the whole of Dunwall under his thumb with all that natural philosophy business. New technology, potions and the like. Seems dangerous to me. But what do I know?
Yo, Samuel, you're the
Here we
best.
are. I'll meet you at the arches under Sokolov's place when you're ready, Corvo. Assuming, of course, you've taken care of those floodlights.
Yeah.
Turn off those floodlights, then grab Mr. Sokolov and whatever else you need. At the arches under Sokolov's apartments, Corvo. That's where I'll be.
God, this fucking game, man. It looks so pretty. I think they didn't like putting a shaders mod for this playthrough, because there are quite a few, but I just did not bother with that. This game looks already good enough without. How far can I get here? Quite far, apparently. Huh. Alright. Oh. Huh. I remember there being, like... I don't remember what they're called, but oh, I don't want those piranhas or whatever. Um, like shells with money, or like pearls inside. I don't think there are any here. So We have a up here. I could also use the chain, but it kind of leads the same
Curfew means ain't
way.
nobody allowed to be just wandering about, except us guards. Yeah, I know. But if we do see someone, then what? Do we say something? Remind them about curfew?
No, you don't remind them. You chase them down, and you give them a severely deadly beating is what.
Okay, yeah, I got it. Ain't no point yelling at me. Severely deadly beating.
Okay. You know what? Let's actually.
Citizens and visitors to our city, by order of the Regent, the curfew is now active. No foot traffic is allowed across Caldwin's Bridge until curfew is lifted. Attention all citizens. No pedestrian movement is allowed along Caldwin's Bridge during this period. Curfew will end tomorrow morning at sunrise.
You should bathe.
So we have 1, 2, 3 over there. This one does come back. Okay. Gotta be careful about that. Can I? Yes, I sure can. I love the verticality in this game. So good. Ooh, I forgot there's these. Oh. Okay, so I can enter that way. You don't seem to move. Is there anything interesting in there, so? Can't really see. If I go down there, can I come? Is there even points coming back up?
Plague. Elixir. Bunch of crap.
I mean, not how to go around, I guess.
Stupid gut.
Alright. Bullets, I guess. We don't have a key or anything, no?
No,
Okay.
stupid gut.
Citizens and visitors to our city, by order of the Regent, the curfew is now active. No foot traffic is allowed across Caldwin's
Where's the other
Bridge
one?
until curfew
You're
is
such a
lifted.
choffer.
Attention all citizens. No pedestrian movement is allowed along Caldwin's Bridge during this period. Curfew will end tomorrow morning at sunrise.
Shit. Shit. Where'd the other one go? Yeah, there was nothing here. I should have stayed up there. Oh, there he is. Hello? Can I get inside? Thank you. Yeah, I need to wait for him to go back. I need to make sure this one is not looking this way and the one outside. So you're good. You're not good. Okay. Now's the time. Okay. Alright. There wasn't anything that way, was there? That's kind of bothering me now. I don't think there's anything there, so it's probably just another way to get up. Yeah. What does this say? The boldest measures are the safest.
Citizens and visitors to our city, by order of the Regent, the curfew is now active.
Actually,
No foot traffic is allowed across
I just want to make sure that
Caldwin's
there's
Bridge
nothing over
until
there.
curfew is
I'm trying to
lifted.
use my powers as
Attention all
least as possible just because
No
it's more fun,
pedestrian
but
movement is
I
allowed
just want to
along
make
Caldwin's
sure I'm not
Bridge
missing
during
anything
this
here.
period. Curfew will end tomorrow morning at sunrise.
Yeah, no, I think it was just another way to get up. Yeah, okay. Alright, I'm good. Okay.
Stupid goddamn.
So, I guess I can just wait for him to come back, and when he's looking that way, I can just slip behind. I could try to use the columns so that he doesn't see me,
Any
but that
chance you'll
is a
share your
little
food
bit
with me
more
tonight?
risky.
Stupid goddamn.
There we go. Well, I could have used that, I just realized, but we're good. Right? Oh, that's... Oh, he's not going as far as I thought. I'm just gonna wait until he turns around, I think. And then I can follow him. Yeah. Oh, fuck me. Shit. Damn it, I didn't think the guy will inside would see me from that angle. Okay. It's fine, I can go back there quickly.
Here we are.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll meet you at the arches under Sokolov.
Understand now. Curfew means ain't nobody allowed to be.
Ah.
Yeah, I know. But if we do see someone, then what? Do we say something?
At least this time I know that there's nothing interesting.
You don't remind them. You chase them down, and you give them a severely deadly beating, is what.
Okay, yeah, I got it.
Either way.
Severely deadly beat.
I smell bones in the pylons, blood beneath the stone locks. Men die building the structure.
Hmm.
Many seek the bridge for solace.
Citizens and visitors to our city, by order of the
Plague
Regent,
victims
the
all
curfew
left
is
from
now
here.
active.
The
No
crushed
foot
minerals,
traffic is allowed
farm
across
animals,
Caldwin's Bridge
the vials of
until
liquid mysteries.
Oh, that's where I need to go, I
All
think.
these
all
and more
citizens.
are
No
necessary for
pedestrian
his
movement is
experiments.
allowed along Caldwin's Bridge during this period. Curfew will end tomorrow morning at sunrise.
The air is heavy and stale. Some acrid powders still linger in it. Sokolov sees the captain at the helm, and the tusked Leviathan. What do you see in the stars? Why am I so cold? I smell bones in the
Alright.
pylons, blood
shit
beneath
for
the
this.
stone locks. Men die building the structure.
Alright, so wait until he turns around, drop, get his pouch, and head for the door. I don't like this one till now. Okay. What?
Now.
I'm sorry, were you not looking in front of you? Good god. I was sure he was looking in front of him. Does he have fucking eyes on
Here
the
we are.
side of his
I'll
head?
meet you at the arches under Sokolov's place.
Since when did they see me from that angle?
Curfew means ain't nobody allowed to be just
That's
wandering
crazy.
about, except us guards.
If we do see someone, then what? Do we say something? Remind them about curfew?
You don't remind them.
Okay,
Chase them down,
well,
and you give them a severely deadly beating, is what.
Okay, yeah, I got it. Severely deadly beating.
there we go.
Visitors to
Good
our city,
lord.
by order of the Regent, the
Don't know why it was that hard. What's my quick save button again, is it? Yes, okay. I'm not doing that again. Another night, another patrol with you.
Better make a pass over here.
Okay. Don't have the key. Oops. Ooh. Folded galvani resin. Not sure what that does. Like what upgrade it unlocks. Yeah, I vaguely remember this. This just lets me bypass everything. Yeah, okay. Okay. I don't know if I want to bypass everything, so. Wait. Aha. Ooh, that was close. We're fine. Sorry. That's not what I wanted. Okay.
Attention all citizens. No pedestrian movement is allowed along Cauldron Bridge during this period.
Damn it. There we go.
Tomorrow morning at sunrise.
Okay. I don't have the key though, so even if I wanted, I can. Yeah.
Nobody's making rounds over here?
Alright. What do we have? Rats around? Not sure.
Stupid goddamn.
Okay, so we have this one that seems to be doing back and forth. This one over there. Ooh, what's that? I need to go and get in there.
I better make a pass over here.
If I drop down, I don't think I
Let me
can
know if you
come
wanna
back.
take my patrol.
Not without my blink anyway. Grenade. What's this way, so? Is there a point to this?
Citizens and visitors to our city. By order of the
Oh.
region, the curfew is now active.
Okay.
No foot
Hello.
traffic is allowed
Sorry.
across Cauldron's Bridge until
Or what
curfew is
happened to you?
lifted. Attention all citizens. No pedestrian movement is allowed along
Oh, maybe don't be down here.
and tomorrow morning at
Might not be
sunrise.
the best idea.
Stupid goddamn.
Oh fuck. No. Okay. Oh wait, he's not actually. Ah shit. What's my? I did. Yeah, yeah. Don't remember what my quick load button is now, because I remember changing it. Dude, that was stupid. I don't know why he saw me.
Citizens and visitors to our city, by order of the Regent, the curfew is now active. No foot traffic is
Legit,
allowed
like he was
across
going that way.
Caldwell's Bridge
How
until
did he see
curfew
me?
is lifted. Attention all citizens. No pedestrian movement is allowed along Caldwell's Bridge during this period. Curfew will end tomorrow.
Fuck me, man. I'm gonna lose my mind. This is not a good start. Ow.
Citizens and visitors to our city, by order of the Regent, the curfew is now active. No foot traffic is allowed across Caldwell's Bridge until curfew is lifted. Attention all citizens. No pedestrian.
Fuck. I didn't think it would turn that quickly. We'll get it. We'll get it. Okay. Can I just... I can. Oh, there's a rune there. I totally forgot to check for that.
Citizens and
It wasn't the one that way.
by
No,
order of
okay.
the Regent, the curfew is now active.
Now we're good.
No foot traffic is allowed across Caldwell's Bridge until curfew is lifted. Attention all citizens. No pedestrian movement is allowed along Caldwell's Bridge during this period. Curfew will end tomorrow morning at sunrise.
Now you're going back that way. Oh, but... Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Oh. What is your pathing, my man? You keep changing it. You're not supposed to change it. Not like that. Jesus fucking hell. I'm gonna start knocking people out. I'm actually gonna have to at this rate. Otherwise I'm never gonna progress.
Citizens and visitors to our city, by order of the Regent, the curfew is now active. No foot traffic is allowed across Caldwell's Bridge until curfew is lifted. Attention all citizens. No pedestrian movement is allowed along Caldwell's Bridge during this period. Curfew will end.
Okay, so you go here, and then what? Stay there for like 5 seconds, that's it? About, yeah, okay. Alright, you know what? Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, so is that all you do? Okay. Okay. Hmm. Just, yeah, I'm gonna have to deal with you, unfortunately. Just need to figure out the best moment. Probably when he goes that way, actually.
Citizens and visitors to our city, by order of the Regent, the
And now-
curfew is now active. No foot traffic is allowed across Caldwell's Bridge
And this
until
could also
curfew is
work.
lifted. Attention all citizens. No pedestrian movement is allowed along Caldwell's
There we
Bridge
go.
during
Let's bring
this
you down
period.
there.
Curfew will end tomorrow morning at sunrise.
Nobody will find you here. Let's join your buddy here. Okay. You know what? Fuck it. I'm knocking everyone out now. Yeah, that was a bit stupid.
Somewhere around here.
That was a little bit stupid, unfortunately.
I know you're here. I'll find. Got you now. Help! You gotta bleed.
Last one. Last. I'll get it. I know what to do now. So you're coming this way. Deal with you quickly, then deal with you.
Citizens and visitors to our city, by order of the Regent, the curfew is now active. No foot traffic is allowed across Caldwell's Bridge until
I was
curfew is
just
lifted.
a bit dumb last time.
Attention all citizens. No pedestrian movement is allowed along Caldwell's Bridge during this period. Curfew will end tomorrow morning at sunrise.
Thank you. Yeah, let's not do the same thing now. Am I good?
Did you say your sister was? I don't need shit from you.
Might have to deal with this one first, possibly. If I can. Am I gonna have a good way to do it though? Oh fuck, what the hell? Why are you coming this way? The fuck? Is he gonna see me now? No, okay. Oof. Oh, is he doing the same pathing now? He just replayed. Okay. Well, that's fair. I was gonna skip you, but I kind of don't have a choice now, because if you're doing the same pathway, I'm not gonna have easy chances to move around.
Citizens and visitors to our city, by order of the Regent, the curfew is now active. No foot traffic is allowed across Caldwell's Bridge until
But that's where I need
curfew
to
is
go.
lifted. Attention all citizens. No pedestrian movement is allowed along Caldwell's Bridge during this period. Curfew
Ooh,
will end
close.
tomorrow morning at sunrise.
Blocked from the other side. Oh, there's a ledge. Oh, I need to go out that way. What do you mean, dude? Oh, I can do this. Okay, that works. Ow. We're fine. There's nobody in here? No? Okay. Alright. Hmm. Okay.
Let me know if you want to take my patrol.
Gonna have to wait a while here.
Citizens and visitors to our city, by order of the Regent, the curfew is now active. No foot traffic is allowed across Caldwin's Bridge until curfew is lifted. Attention
There
all
wasn't
citizens.
anything else over
No
there, I don't
pedestrian
think.
movement is allowed along Caldwin's Bridge during
Nah,
this period.
we're good.
Curfew will end tomorrow morning at sunrise.
Alright. Yeah, we can breathe a bit. I don't think anybody will be in here.
Huh?
No, no, you don't see shit, you don't see shit. Thank you. Okay. Okay, so fuck. I'm just gonna hide in here until I figure out what to do. I think I'm not gonna have a choice to knock this one out. Because otherwise I'm not sure how to move around here. There we go. Now we have one here. I'm gonna wait until he moves back and forth again, giving myself as much time as I need.
Citizens and visitors to our city, by order of the Regent,
There we go.
curfew is now active. No foot traffic is allowed across Caldwin's Bridge until curfew is lifted. Attention all citizens. No pedestrian movement is allowed along Caldwin's Bridge.
Alright. That the light? No. A bridge, okay. Loud as fuck. That's just to put it back up, I imagine. Oh, wait. Yeah. Ooh. Are you alone? Seems like it. I'm gonna wait just in case he comes in this room. That would be a bit fucked. He sure does. Where is he? What is he doing? coming outside. Okay. Think he was alone? Yeah. Nothing in here. Nope, nope, nope. Nothing. Bone charm. What's this one? Fleet fighter, having your weapons out doesn't slow you. Don't really care much. That it? That it. Are we out here? No? Wait, so where do I go from here? Actually. Huh. Good question. Oh no, wait, there was another door, wasn't there?
Better make a pass over here.
Didn't realize this was leading straight outside now. Should be fine. I'm just gonna wait until he starts walking just to make sure.
Nobody's making rounds
Yeah,
over here.
he possibly could have seen me there. There we go. Okay.
Curse the plague and this blasted curfew. How is anyone supposed to make a
Oh, I remember this.
Well now, Mr. Pratchett, even a wealthy man like you needs the city watch. Gangs are cutting throats and smashing windows left and right, and the weepers, excuse me, the plague victims are worse. Are you saying the Lord Regent is wrong for imposing curfew?
It won't do you any good to bait me, officer. But don't worry, I'll be fine. I'll profit. A smart man can come out ahead, even in the time of plague.
Sure, like that Sokolov. He's doing fine. Always a lot of exotic items coming and going from his place. Keeps this place running, at least for now.
Yes, yes, if by exotic you mean foul-smelling as a witch's bottom. The royal physician will be fine too, until he crosses the wrong man.
Indeed. I will say so. Yeah, you're going down there. You have a key? Yeah, I thought I remembered that. Oh, you're going inside though. Can I go inside? I sure can. No, I can't. Okay, I'm gonna need to find another way in. Oh. No, like, yep. What the hell was that? Oh, there he is. I didn't start walking somewhere. Maybe not this way though. Maybe not this way. I don't like it. I don't like it. If I see those doors open, I drop. No? We're good? I think we're good. Yeah, okay. Okay. I'm not sure if he's alone in here, so... Hopefully he is. Somebody is mad about something. Okay. Whale Slaughterhouse. Oh, I remember. I need to remember these numbers. 3. I just remember these being a code. I have a faint memory of that. 4. Three, 4, 7. Nobody in here. We're good. We're good. Precious reminder. The truth isn't painting. The way to the truth starts in the crowded streets. Continue until you see an encountered whaling ship. What did I say it was? 347? From there, find the slaughterhouse and the truth will be revealed to you. So whaling ship was 3, slaughterhouse 4, and this is 7, right? No. I guess that's the whaling ship? Okay, so... Wait. Yeah. That's not what I want. Crowded street, that's 7. No, that's 4. That would be 7. That would be 3. 4, 7, 3? I think, if I'm not mistaken. 4, 7. Yeah, good. Sometimes my memory can, my short-term memory sometimes can be really fucked. I can read something or tell myself to remember something and I forget immediately. I have a good long-term memory, but short-term, dude. Ugh. The Eyes of Morley, I have already read that. Did I not? Is that a new note added? I guess not. Excerpt from a volume on Morley geography and culture. It said that the history of Morley is as colorful as a quilt made from all the flags ever flown and all the clothes ever worn. The land itself hides from the sun under a layer of clouds, and thick gray moss hangs from the trees. But the spirit of the people who live in Morley dances like the firelight. Among the people, the love of good food and drink is legendary, with stews and roasted meat dishes most often used to fight off the cold and the dreariness. The nation has a rich tradition of poets, musicians, and philosophers, even among the poorest folks. Intellectual tomes and bar songs alike were often penned in Morley. A late entry into
Shut
the
your French looking head ass booty up or something. I don't know.
Thanks. A late entry into the Empire, the Morley insurrection is still a sore point for many natives, and independence is a broad character trait among the people. God, that really is so good. I'm never gonna get tired of it. It's the best thing ever. It's all good. It's the best fucking thing ever. It's so fucking good. Is there something else around here? Oh, there is. Wait, how did I miss that? Wait, where is that? That's not in here, is it? Oh, there's a... Oh, rooftop. Oh, is that where the voice was coming from earlier? It is.
I will set fire to the hairs of their faces. I pull nails from their feet with my own teeth. I will taste their eyes against my tongue like the eggs of fish. I will set fire to the hairs of their faces.
Yeah, you're the one that's not too happy. I'm kind of afraid that you come this way, so I'm just gonna chill a little bit. You're just Edgar Allan Poe going through the average day, holding hearts beating through the phone. I mean, yeah, kind of. And the heart talks too.
Bones in the pylons, blood beneath the stone blocks. Men die building
That's the
structure.
voice of the Empress that was killed in the first minute of the game, so that's kind of very interesting. Is he not coming outside here then? Maybe? Oh, he is. He absolutely
You will
is.
not take me from my home. The Regent is a liar. You will not move me to the street.
One in sex, love, and hate, the heart does speak for all, indeed. I'm sorry I have to do this. You're okay though. You're just gonna take a little nap. Yeah, I can even put you in your bed. You're fine. Just get some sleep. Outside our time.
Rivers change course over many lifetimes, and eventually all bridges tumble down. 1,000 years ago, there was another city on this spot. The people carved the bones of whales into runes and inscribed them with my mark. Children still find them washed up in the river mud. Anton Sokolov has made a great study of my runes, but he's not special like you are. He wasn't chosen, and he doesn't wear my mark, so he can't unlock their secrets.
That must make him mad.
Sokolov believes there are specific words and acts that can compel me to appear before him. He searches old temples in Pendicia and ruined sub-basements in the flooded district. He performs disgusting rituals beneath the old abbey. But if he really wants to meet me, he could start by being a bit more interesting.
I love the Outsider's character. It's so interesting. I think he's the closest thing to what I would imagine a god would actually be. Like, kind of very narcissistic and playing with his creation. I don't know if the Outsider is a god. I guess we might get more lore in the sequels about him. But like, I don't know what he is exactly, but he's probably what I would imagine a god would be. Just kind of sadistic a little bit and just really liking playing with people. He doesn't love naps, he's just overworked, exactly. Like, he was screaming. It takes a lot of work to stream as much as he was doing. Yes, why can't you people close the goddamn door, right? He shoves at Hot Topic, of course, of course. Journal entry part 1. 19th day, month of seeds. What will I do? She left and took her things back to her family, as if that will help. The plague will get us all. 3rd day, month of nets. I've been offered work on one of the whaling boats. I'll be leaving this place at last. Later, I will find a place on Tivia, to the north. The winters are cold there. No rats, no plague. 28th day, month of nets. Last day of the month, my fortunes have turned. I found something shiny, and old. Looks like whalebone, which is supposed to be lucky. Journal entry part 2. 6th day, month of rain. My cousin Emil is coming soon, bringing a bird to roast. I'm going to see if any of the shops are still open. Maybe I can buy apples or some potatoes. 10th day, month of rain. I put my whalebone carving on a shelf, but I could not see it from some parts of the room, so I made a little pedestal for it. It looks nice in the candlelight. 15th day, month of rain. Sometimes I dream about it. In the dreams, it makes sounds like the wind through a broken window. On some nights, the wind sounds like a voice. I was supposed to go to the docks to ship out, but I remembered too late. It was days ago. You got a bit too much into this, didn't you? Journal entry part 3. 18th day, month of rain. My cousin came, but we fought over it. When I came into the room, he was holding it. I screamed at him and we fought. Now I am filled with remorse. 26th day, month of rain. He's still sitting in the corner, across from the candles. He was a thief. Second day month of wind. I wonder how he knew about it. Coming to dinner was a trick. Maybe he told others. Seventh day month of wind. Barricades in the halls outside. It is safe now. 11th day month of wind. The watch came, taking people away. The neighbors. Someone in the building has the rat plague. Gone now. It promises to protect me. Each night it promises. Jesus. Well, hello there, cousin Emil. Yikes. That's kind of fucked up. See, this is why I love this game so much. This is one part of it. Just the, like, subtle storytelling there. I love that shit. Like, environmental storytelling is what it's called. Fucking love that. Okay, so no other ruins or bone charms nearby. Okay. So I can keep going up. Can I not? I can't go up there. Anybody in here? Okay.
On duty?
Yeah, he came through earlier. Made us all touch the charger, and then left for the legal district.
Okay, good. We can't lose any more men to the arc pylons.
Arc
Touch the
pylons,
charger before
god.
you're shipped when the duty officer brings it by.
Can't hear them, I just read the subtitles now. Too late. Well, couldn't see that. Oh, hello. I think that was the guy that was talking to Terry, I think his name was. The rich guy. Yeah. Okay, I'm just making sure I didn't miss anything interesting wrong. And this just goes back up. Okay. Anything here? No? Why was that blocked off? Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Okay, we're good. Okay. Nothing there. Branded. Oh, Overseer Thaddeus Campbell. Hey. Formerly High Overseer is no longer a citizen of Dunwall. It is now a criminal offense to offer this man aid or housing. Contact the City Watch if you have any information. A reward is available. Morgan and Custis Pendleton missing. All citizens are required to report any knowledge they may have on the whereabouts of Morgan and Custis Pendleton. Contact the City Watch. Look at that. Consequences to our actions. Okay, yeah, I could break that, but there's somebody in there, so that might not be the best move. Best move will be to go back up, I think. I might have to go all the way back, so. We're good, we're good. There we go. Okay. That's our guy that got electrocuted. Maybe? There's the bridge. So, how do I proceed here? I could also have just gone down there. If I go down there, do I just like get on that and then I move? Because I don't see, unless I can climb this? Because I don't see a way to cross otherwise. We'll figure something out. I mean, there's not really anything in there, is there? Oh, I can go that way. Wait, yeah, that looks more interesting. That looks a bit more secure. This guy might be a bit of a problem, though. Because he doesn't seem to be moving much. Can I... Yeah, he's not turning around, nothing.
Yeah, someone's still
Huh. Oh, wait.
Any fools settled in over here?
Oh, there is a door.
Someone's still prowling around.
Easy, okay. That's fine. That works. That works for me. Slagstraw's shipment notice. Here's the elixir you need to sell on Caldwin's bridge this week. When you've moved everything, bring the money back to the distillery. I'll give you your cut and next week's shipment. If you're too dumb and you get caught, throw the elixir in the river so that they can't give it to Sokolov. I don't want him figuring out what we're doing. Then throw yourself into the river too. Damn. I guess cyanide pills are not really a thing yet in this world. Just throw yourself in the river straight up. We're fine. Yeah. Okay, so this is very open around here. There's also like a little apartment so that I saw and kind of wanted to get into. Yeah, here. I'm good, he's not coming this way? Okay. I totally missed that.
If he comes back, I'll earn another promotion.
Card scoreboard. Game 1. Betted is 5 coins each. Jack Quilty. 23, 38 of... I have no idea what that means. I mean, it's like a scoreboard, but I have no idea what type of game that is. Yeah. So we're back here now. I definitely don't want to get in close to that. Definitely do not want that. Yeah, I think, yeah, he's coming. Okay. Good lord. That is scary as hell. Come on, move. There we go. Nope. Not yet. Okay, we're good. That we turned around, man. Okay, so... Pretty should quick save here, it's been a while. Is there anything interesting around here? Oh, this is just bringing me back here. Okay.
Smell you from here.
Alright. Where's the pylon here?
I'll write to her again.
Right there. That's a problem. Where is your power source? Over here. There it is. Okay, I can definitely deal with that. I don't want to rewire it though. I want to turn it off. But I think, oh, there it is.
See what happens if I get another crack at this guy.
There we go. Alright. That's a bit safer. Oh, we have rats here. Oh no. That's not good.
None of this would have gotten so bad if that damn fool Corvo hadn't killed the Empress.
Careful, my guy, there's a bunch of rats. And don't mind me. I'm not here.
If he comes back, I'll earn another promotion.
Yeah, we're almost on the bridge itself. Almost. Ooh.
I better make a pass over here.
Why are you coming this way?
None of this would have gotten so bad if that damn fool.
Why did he... why did he come this way? Damn it. Fine. I'm right back here. Up here. Get the tank. Nope. 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 You didn't see shit. Move. Move. God damn it. Thank you. I'm not sure yet, but I might actually do a second playthrough of this where I just go crazy and kill everyone. Just for fun. It will be very satisfying after all this. Could be a much quicker one too. Much just sneaking around.
You got a prowler on the loose.
You don't got nothing.
That's just ridiculous. Stupid rats. Plague. Elixir. Bunch of crap.
Ow! Ow! The fuck? I had time last time. Why not this time? God damn it. That's annoying. Quite annoying. Ah shit, I need to wait. God damn it. Stupid goddamn. Sound like a dog.
You got a prowler on the loose.
You don't have nothing.
That's just ridiculous.
Stop being dramatic.
Rats. Plague. Elixir. Bunch of crap. Stupid cut.
Okay, let's try again. Let's go all the way super far. There we go. That's better. Nothing in here. Okay. What else do we have around here? Nothing? Nothing at all? Alrighty then. Did I did go in there, yes. Okay. We have another arc pylon there. So I'm gonna have to go the alternate way. At least I think so. Can I wait? I have a very big memory That also works. No. Is that how I did it last time? Not even. I had a memory of doing this. I guess maybe it's another spot. Yeah, no, that's definitely not possible. Okay, never mind. Where is the guy? Don't see him. Oh, there he is. Um. I don't know when. Yeah, I think he's going back, so I wouldn't have had time. Oh, he's not actually. Go, 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 go. We got people in there. Gotta be careful. Okay. I think we only have one person in here. So if I remember correctly, this is kind of like a tower situation. Ooh, fuck. You have money, but like more like a key just in case that could be useful. No, you don't got shit. Okay, we're good. We're fine. Oh! That is so unfortunate. That is actually so unfortunate. I didn't think somebody would be there. Alright, I already know he's got nothing, so we can just move on. I hate when it looks like they're looking in front of them, but they're actually not, apparently. So annoying. Yeah, there's nothing there. Okay.
This is ridiculous. Stupid rats. Plague. Elixir.
Oh, that's Eric Pylon. Oh shit, wait. Ooh. Oh, that's where the thing is. Okay. We'll have to be somewhat careful. Okay. Damn it. Shit, that was stupid. Okay. I just wanted to put it in the water to see, but that was just dumb. My bad. Okay, let's not do that again. I should be able to get it while he's looking out there. Because they don't care about stuff suddenly turning off. There we go. Okay. So we got one here. Are you moving at all? Can I? Oh, I can, kind of. Is it any use though? Not sure. Not really. Can you get under that? Yeah, not really, no.
Plague. Elixir.
Okay.
Bunch of crap.
think he's moving, so no? Okay. Let's just go for it. Ugh. We're good. Yeah, so far so good. We have a chain here. What was that noise? Hello. E. Thank you. I might have it already, but always good to have just in case. This I can drop down there. Oh. Alright, that works. Can just bypass him. Okay. Oh, I think this is what I was remembering. Thank you, sorry about you. Yeah. That's a way to cross a bridge, alright. Okay, we still need to find a way to turn off those lights for Samuel.
Just leave the oil tanks be, or they'll break. Why they always gotta put me with you, I just don't know.
Well, you said leave the oil tank be, right? Were those the lights? No, they're still on. That is unfortunate. Where? Okay, good. Good. I knew it saved not long ago. I couldn't remember exactly where. Nothing. Drawbridge control. What does that do?
Can I buy your ration of elixir from today? You always amuse me.
Did you just...
No, stupid goddamn.
Yeah, okay. Ah, shit. No, where? When did you get in here? The fuck? Was it in the room all this time? Yeah, okay, it put it up there. Okay. I see. I'm not sure what's the use of that exactly. Maybe just cut off access if you're being pursued. What the hell is this? I don't remember ever finding that. Is there a point to this though? There's no shot you see me, dude. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't think there's any real use to this. Okay. Oh. Ugh.
Huh?
There's no shot, dude. What are these angles they are looking at me at? Genuinely, what the fuck?
Outsider's eyes, I'm getting spooked.
I have an art. Yeah, okay. I kept hearing it, but at least now I know where it is. We're gonna have to figure out how to
Seen anybody with signs of the
where the
sickness?
power
Always
source
here.
is. Okay. Go. Not go. No go.
Something. I'll get to the bottom of this. Gotcha now.
Yo. We good? Good lord. Shit, I can squeeze under there. That's a problem. We're fine. That's fine. We're good, so. I'm just gonna wait to see where he goes. There we go. Hello. I vaguely remember you. Yeah. You don't have to scream.
I just collect river crust pearls. They chased me down, and I had to hide my catch. You help me, and I'll show you where the pearls are. Split them with you. Come on, give a guy a break, will ya? I'm so thirsty.
Oh, there's plenty of water where you're going, you river slime.
Okay.
Now wait a bit, what do you mean? You ain't gonna dump me in the flooded district, are ya?
You have a key? You don't. Okay. Hmm.
Let me see what's going on over here.
You're gonna tell me that you can't actually climb that door and fit up there? Like, really? It wouldn't be that hard.
I'll move
Not
over
if
here.
nobody is looking at you anyway. Which they're not really. You just sound lazy to me. Don't turn around like that. Where's the key? Oh. Very cross reproduction. Excerpt from a Nature Journal by Pierrot Joplin. Curiously, the river cross possesses both male and female anatomical features. One can only imagine what this would mean for human society, were it true among our own species. Will we dispense entirely with courting and dances? Imagine the increase in efficiency as well as as we all dedicated ourselves to the important matters in life. Natural philosophy, of course, but also industry and law. And when aged members of society needed to be replaced by more vigorous younger members, one could simply engage in the auto-impregnation process and produce the desired offspring. Back to the matter at hand, while any given river cross is fully capable of inseminating itself, it must also be noted that reproduction does frequently occur between individual crusts. This happens when river cross live in colonies, clustered above and below one another, such as when attached to a wooden dockyard piling. In these cases, as one of the mollusks releases its fluids, they run down across another in the colony, resulting in the intermixing of bloodlines. Oh, interesting. Oh, I don't. That's kind of gross. I don't like that. I would have preferred not reading that. You. Okay, now I need to free him and make sure that he doesn't get killed or that he doesn't kill anyone. I think we're good.
I'll show you the place. No one saw me drop it.
Yeah, can you like
You won't be sorry. We can
just
split
fucking
it right
run,
down the
my
middle.
guy?
Now I'm out of that cell. I'm feeling.
Jesus. Just run, my guy.
Just follow me. I'll show you the place. No one saw
No.
me drop it.
Shit, wait.
You won't be sorry. We can split it right down.
Yeah, nah. Quick save. I'm gonna have to wait a bit more then. I mean, I could also just knock him out. Oh, the other one is here. Shit. I didn't realize he was. That's why I wasn't seeing him outside. That makes sense. I never saw him enter. Come on. Thank you.
Any fools settled in over here?
I'm gonna have to wait for him to get... I've been fine this whole time and now I'm not. Oh, jeez. Fine. Fine, I wanted to be nice, but I guess I can't be. Not this time. Yeah, should be fine.
Any fools settled in over here?
You know what?
Stupid goddamn.
Let me see what's going on over here.
Okay, we're fine. Why is it not going back that way, though? Yeah.
Don't be a fool. We can split the pearl. Whatever you want. They'll kill me. They'll dump me in the water.
Bunch of crap.
You need the key to get me out. Yeah, just look around. It's gotta be here somewhere.
Yeah, I got it, I got it. Okay, can you, like, run,
Just follow me.
please?
I'll show you the place. No one saw me drop it. You won't be sorry. We can split them right down the middle. Now I'm out of that cell. For the watch.
Dude, you don't seem very, like, interested in staying alive, my guy. God damn. Okay. At some point I'm trying to be nice, but fuck, dude. This guy is just not helping me at all.
Wait, don't be a fool. We can split the pearls. Whatever you want.
I'm just gonna move it a little bit
In the water.
away from the door.
You need the key to get me out. Yeah, just look around. Just follow me. I'll show you the place.
Yeah,
No one
go,
saw me drop it.
go,
You
go,
won't be sorry.
go,
We
you
can split 'em
asshole.
right down the middle. Now I'm out of that cell. I'm feeling myself again.
He's annoying the shit out of me. I'm gonna have to free his whole fucking path. Okay. Fine. Fine.
Wait, don't be a fool.
Yeah.
Whatever you want. They'll kill me. They'll dump me in the water. You need the key to get me out. Yeah, just look around. It's gotta be here somewhere. I owe you a friend.
Oh, your poor back. Okay, are you alone? No, there's somebody in there. Okay. I'm gonna have to wait until he comes back and turns around again. If he could just fucking run, we will have time, but he's not. He's just taking his sweet, stupid time. And I hate it. I hate him for it. Seriously, so like, why? Okay. This still... I'm taking so long. And then there's this guy. I think I need to deal with this one first. Actually, we're fine. There we go. There we go. Okay, now he'll be okay. Here, both here, dark key. Okay.
Just follow me. I'll show you the place.
Yeah, yeah. Nothing else interesting in the meantime? Not really. Now you run. You run when you're safe. Like, what is wrong with you? Oh, river cross. That. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That spit of theirs stings like fire. Get rid of that thing, or I won't go further.
I need to open them up first, don't I? Yeah. And they also have an angle. Okay. Here. Like I'm missing one or two. Did I get them all? I guess so. Okay. Where's the one that... Is it this one? Maybe. Oh. I just kept going. Okay. Fair enough. Wasn't there anything else around here? No.
Locked, huh? I was afraid of that. That key will be on one of those guards. It's up to you.
Yeah, I got it.
You still want them pearls, I mean. They're doing this more and more. Shaking down honest men for extra coin.
Honest? Sure.
What's the mask for? Afraid of plague? I never worry. Honest men won't catch it.
Oh, wait. I remember this is an ambush. I just remembered. How do I deal with it? Let's, yeah, right, they were... I don't remember what exactly, but they were interacting with, like, this, the sinks or, like, a pipe or something to speak. Wait. That just saved, I think. Okay, fuck it. Whatever. I just remember it being an ambush, fully. I hear somebody in here. There we go.
What?
Nope, 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 nope. Are you staying there? Nope. Yeah, they're moving too much. Ah. I didn't expect the second one, god damn it. Totally did not. Fuck. Wait, so Can I... Was it like this? Hmm. No? Like, apparently that doesn't do anything for them. I just remember there being a trig, but I don't remember what. This is just a bit tricky now. Because one I can easily knock out, but two... Maybe I can deal with this one when this one keeps looking that way. I also have my stop time. I do have that. Okay, let's wait for another round. Hmm. And they're not moving. Okay, fuck it. I'm gonna have to now. I like to avoid whenever possible, but this time it just was not really possible. Alex, note, wait here and stay hidden until I come back. I have one last thing to do on the other side of the drawbridge. I need to deliver all these spells we've gathered to the boss tonight, so don't be messing around. If something goes wrong with the guards or if anything else happens, use the sink next to the building and speak loud. The boys will come running to help. Yeah, so I could use a sink, but I could not speak. Oh well. Oh well. Okay. So that's it for the bridge part. What's next now? Are we close to Sokolov? I think we should be. Mid-row substation. By the way, actually, let me quickly. Just making sure I didn't miss anything. Yeah, I think we're good. Okay. Thank you. That's 4 out of 5. So I have one more rune to find. The ancient music. I think I've read this one, yeah. Overseer's music note. Yesterday, an overseer passed in the street near me, playing the strange music from the abbey. Beneath his mask, I could not see his face as he turned the crank on his music box, but I could hear his voice muttering verses from the sacred texts. Fear overcame me, because it is forbidden to carry bone charms and similar such items for luck. The overseers are completely unforgiving in this matter. Gripping mine in my pocket, feeling its warmth, I walked with my head down. He was heading towards the royal physician's home, that shaggy Sokolov, and something odd occurred. I could swear the charm in my hand reacted to the overseer's music, growing cold. Some inner vibrations seemed to go still. I found a book that is perhaps related to this and would study it so that I might understand. The book in question. Alrighty. do I have a very vague memory of this too. Alright, so we have what, 4 of them? I see 3, but I think there's a 4th one.
Never doubt
There's one there. Okay. So what do I need to do? Where do I need to go? Okay, we have the gate over there. Electric gate. So we're gonna wait until this one turns around, then we'll go down the stairs, I think. If he ever turns around. Oh. Okay, no.
Stupid goddamn.
Oh. Am I good? I think I'm good. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. I can move. Thank you. The power of magic. Oh, I need to move. Ah, shit. Ah, shit. That's unfortunate. That is very unfortunate. God damn it. The bitter river crust. Blowing my cover. I keep missing. I hit the wall. Is that why they're alerted? Will they still be alerted if I don't miss?
Something.
Yeah. So let's just... Yeah, if I don't miss, I'm fine. Okay. Good God. Ow. Ow. Ow, ow. Almost had it. God, they hurt a lot. And the weird angles you have to be at is really annoying. Why am I missing so much? We good? Okay, fuck. Yeah. Oh, somebody's little home. Okay. Hmm. Can I climb this without my blink? Doesn't quite feel like I can. Damn it. Nope. Yeah. Huh. Okay.
This is ridiculous. Stupid rats. Plague. Licks you. Crap.
Oh. Hmm. Hmm. No. Can't climb up there? No, I can't. Ah. This is out of bounds, I guess, technically. That's a shame. Okay. Ow. Stop trying to eat me, please. That is very much not appreciated. I need you to move. Thank you. Hello? Fuck? Okay, I'll come back to that window if I don't find any other way in. For now, we'll try something else. There's stairs over there. I can also go in there. Ooh, you're gonna be a problem up there. Shit, everyone is a problem actually. Hmm. Yeah, shit. You're also a problem. Do you move? Do you move at all? Yes. Good.
Should we gather for whiskey and cigars tonight? Chances are very good.
Yeah, just... okay. Go, 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 go. Okay. Whoa. The hell was that? Not sure. Okay. They could have just gone under here, I guess. Where's the guy that's supposed to be out here? I don't see him. I don't like that I don't see him.
Think you'll get
Oh,
your own
there he is.
squad after what
Ooh.
happened last night?
Okay.
Yes, of course.
Okay. Need to get up there. Can I climb the door actually? I sure can. I wasn't sure. No, I don't think I ever tried to climb a door in this game. There we go. Yeah, good. Ooh. Can that lead me where I wanted to go? It sure can. Good. Cool, cool, cool. Wait. Does it? Oh, is there nothing? Oh, no, it's just another way to get to around back. Okay, I thought there was like an apartment or something here. Or just like something somewhere I could enter. I guess not. Okay, never mind. Never mind me.
What's going on there?
Shit. We're good? Yeah, we're good.
Probably rats. into
Indeed.
everything.
That's all it is.
Things are bad.
What else
The
could it
city
be but
getting worse.
rats?
Never doubt it.
Ah shit, this one is gonna find a body. It's okay, can't do much about it.
The oil must be gone.
Oh,
Things are gonna be worth the effort.
I'll flush you out.
yeah, he found it, I think. What a shame.
Doesn't last long enough. I know you're somewhere around here.
I was doing really well on that front.
Ran off.
Ah.
Howard.
I should have hit him, but I didn't think anybody else would go there. It wasn't in their bathing before.
Where are you?
We good? We good.
I know you're here.
Hello? So that's where I need to go, I think. Oh, no way. No fucking shot, dude. Ugh.
Damn things don't last long enough.
God damn it. Hello? Dude, I swear. The fuck?
Wait, who is that?
I'm just trying right now to.
Find this guy.
I'm stuck in here. Oh wait, I just realized I can get up there. Yeah, that's gonna be there. I don't know why. Apparently I'm stuck in here now because of the reloading, I guess. Weird.
See something?
What a shame. There we go. There we go. Okay. Whew. Oh. Hello? Ew. Oh. Are you okay?
Find a way to keep these rats off me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it the rats? Undertaker, you move slightly faster while carrying corpses. Yeah.
Take care of the rats, please.
Tyrium's journal. 26-day month of wind. I finally found a new place where I should be able to hide and survive for for a long time if I stay quiet. The city watch condemned the building, so this basement should be a safe spot. I have to believe that. 28th day month of wind. Everything is going as I expected. The watch patrols in the street nearby, but they never enter this building. Food is the only problem, but I managed to steal some during the night. Second day month of darkness. Someone else found this place and wants to share it. He has a strange amulet made of bone and he claims that it protects him from the plague. We'll see. Perhaps we can help each other, but I'm losing confidence in the odds of survival. Fourth day, month of darkness. Since he arrived, I've been having bad dreams and I don't feel really well. There's more and more rats in the building. Soon, I won't be able to leave this shack even if I want to. I'm starting to think that this amulet is cursed. Yeah, they do have weird vibes to them. I'm consuming you. We good? We good. Hey, are you better now? Let me look around quickly before I speak to you. Nothing else? Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Thank you for helping me. I thought it was safe, but there were rats. So many rats, completely infested. I know some folks aren't superstitious, but I swear, the rats showed up after a man came through, waving around an amulet of some kind. It looked like it was made of bone.
Yeah.
He's dead now, like the others who were living here.
Okay. That it? That all? Alrighty then. Good luck with the plague and stuff. Hope you stay safe, I guess. Good. We can get back up. Fall to the Spheres, Volume 1. Did I read these already? I'll read them again. Excerpt from her work fiction early chapters. My stomach twisted as the engines of the odd vessel roared louder. It was the creation of Orcado, the third prefect from the Academy of Natural Philosophy. He was exhilarated, savoring each of the small craft's undulations. Orcado pulled the lever and a great gout of smoke surrounded us. The smell of burning whale oil grew unbearable as the machine propelled itself forward. I was too afraid to look through the window, which suddenly didn't feel thick enough. As if knowing my thoughts, Overseer Bryn looked at me and smiled. Recite some of the litany, my pupil. It will protect your heart from the turpitude of the void on our way to the outer spheres. So we're talking about a rocket here going to outer space, I imagine? Huh. Volume 2. Orcado was elated, like a boy of 16 on the eve of the feast. When we are back in Bristol, I'll be named Royal Physician. Or you will be burned for heresy, Third Prefect. All depends on what we find when we get there. My master's voice was different, as if the air of the outer spheres added qualities normally absent. Uncertainty, weakness, fear. I risked another glance at the monolithic structure in the distance. It was a wonder for Orcado, a puzzle for Overseer Bryn, and for me, a towering monument to emptiness, a magnificent shrine to madness. Volume 3. Final Chapters. I do not fear the void, nor am I concerned with the spiritual sanctity of the weak, for I am now his herald, his chosen, having seen his sublime vault, where eternally he feeds upon the substance of the void. Alone in Orcado's ship, the floor painted red with life, I draw designs with my fingers and gaze through the portals as the land rising below. There I will build the first monument to his glory, a rotting wound in the flesh of nature. Patiently I'll build, waiting your arrival, O great scion of the void. That sounds interesting, actually. I will probably read that. Nothing else here? Okay then. Alrighty. Let's move on to the next part. Did miss anything? No. North End, Caldwin's Bridge. Northside Bridgeway. This mission is way longer than I remembered. God damn. Something up there and up there. So this should be my last two things. Wait, did I have 3 of 5 runes or 4 or 5? I don't remember. I feel like it must be 3 of 5 and this would be my 4th, because I will imagine there will be at least there will be one in Sokolov's house, I will imagine. Wait, I'm missing a scene.
Follow my meaning, sir.
You have no mind for natural philosophy. Obviously, it's because the ones already sick with plague don't live long enough to provide Sokolov with any useful information.
It's just a shame is all. Like that woman the other day. She was easy to look at. Seemed nice enough. Shame she has to die, I mean, and so horrible like too.
Now you listen to me. It's none of our concern the how or why of things. And if you want your elixir rations, then I suggest you stop your wondering. These are pigs. Pigs for Sokolov's experiments. And pigs mean nothing to me. Understand?
Yikes.
Right. I mean, why worry about a couple of disgusting, smelly pigs, you know? All pigs get slaughtered sooner or later. Better if I wonder about those sounds we heard from the warehouse, right? I mean, what was that all about?
That's better. You'll go far, Grayson.
I don't like what I'm hearing. Sokolov is kind of a dick, isn't he? Ooh. Didn't think I'd make it there. Okay. Anybody home? Okay. Can I make this? Yes. Nope. Damn it. That's actually super annoying. Fuck. Jesus. I'm just gonna... There we go. Don't miss. There we go. Bone charm. Yeah, that was the last one for this mission. That's good. That's good, that's good, that's good. Ow. Okay, well. That's the same house, yeah. That's where I'm coming from? Yes. Okay. Nope, you didn't see shit. I can tell you that much. Okay, ow. Actually... Can I keep going forward here? Yeah. Oh, hello. Secret stash tip. Higgins, I recently got a tip about a stash hidden at the north end of Caldwin's Bridge. Another crazy bastard keeping all this shiny stuff in a secret room. I was told you need to turn on the faucet and an old sink 3 times to open up some kind of secret door. No information on the value of what's in this room. I only heard about the street speaker hanging over the road, just outside the door. Sorry about that, mate. Don't forget my share if you find it. Street speaker hanging over the road just outside the door. With sinks nearby that I have to open 3 times. Okay. That's very clear. It's not here, is it? I mean... I don't see any things or faucets, though. Right? I don't imagine that's it. Damn it. Turn on the faucet and null sink 3 times. I need to go and make sure, actually. we have an old saint around here? Don't see one. Oh, this is not the same apartment at all. Oh, I thought it was. This? I heard something. What? The fuck? What did I hear? Oh. Ow. 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 Good lord. I was not ready for that. I don't know if I ever found this in my previous playthrough. Legitimately, I don't think I ever... I think I might have read the note if I even found it, because it was like way up there, which I might have skipped. But if I found it, I might have just forgotten about it before figuring it out. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Okay then. Alright. Now, to deal with whatever's happening here. Okay. Alright, there's a lot of stuff here. So first things first, I would like to free these guys. Need to figure out how I'm doing it though. Probably gonna have to knock some of these guards out. Actually, Nope, nothing. Okay. Oh, hello. Oh, if you're here, that means I'm close.
Treat you well, Corvo. I'll be here when you have what you came for.
Alright, I guess I did turn out the lights. I didn't think I did, but...
I had a dream last night. Don't know what provoked it, but I was sitting in my boat out on the river just at dawn. And the Lord Regent was in the boat with me, just staring at me. Neither of us spoke. I hadn't the foggiest idea about what to say. He just stared. Woke up chilled to the bone.
Interesting.
When the plague passes, my hope is that the overseers start up regular services again. I'd like that.
He's been there.
It always
Hello.
makes me feel at ease.
How are the games though going?
I had a dream last night.
Oh, okay.
River just at dawn.
Alright. Shit. No, you don't see shit. Don't see shit. Go away. Shit. This is gonna be a bit tricky here. Uh, I can just... Yeah, I'm gonna have to deal with them, because otherwise, I imagine anyway. Let me try it, but I imagine they're just gonna get fucked. Yeah. Wait, were they fine? Did they get out? I need to go check if they got out. Fine. Okay. Because I didn't hear him shoot. Oh yeah, they're fine. Hey.
I don't know who you are or why you did this for me, but listen. Nearby, there's a partially collapsed building. Up on what used to be the 3rd floor, you'll see a painting.
Okay.
I used to work there. Behind the painting, there's a safe, and the
Ooh.
code is 294.
Thank you. I imagine the building is the one I was on. Gonna be easier to go back that way. This way. Painting. Painting. Wait, what? Where? Is this not the building? Huh. Okay. Oh, this one. Okay.
Someone's supposed to be on duty over there.
There we go. There we
Hey,
go.
don't show me a drink, blow off.
294, right? Yeah.
Fish bait.
Who's shooting? Wait, did he? There's no way, they were fine, right? I need to go check again. I'll...
We got a prowler on the loose.
God damn it. Oh, that's fucked. They were fine. No, they were fine. That's so fucked, actually. God damn it. Okay, I'm gonna have to fucking choke them out then. God damn it. Oh. Damn it. Why did they not, like, run to safety? Why did they stay there? That's so frustrating. Yeah,
tired yet? Blow off.
No, stupid goddamn.
Huh?
There's no shot, dude. There's no shot you see me.
Damn!
You never look up. Since when do you look up? They never look up. Why now, all of a sudden? I love this game, but sometimes the AI is so inconsistent. Okay, there we go. That's one. Where's the second one? Damn it. Okay. When I think I already saved them, but they were just too dumb. Go to safety. Ugh. I'm too far. I don't like it.
I wonder why it's off.
Maybe they're fine now. Yeah, I think they're fine.
I don't know who you are or why
Okay.
you did this for me, but
Can you
listen.
leave now,
Nearby,
please?
there's a partially collapsed.
Yeah, yeah. Is it
Up
the
on
same
what
code?
used to be the 3rd floor, you'll see a painting. I used to work
Yes,
there.
okay.
Behind the painting, there's a safe, and the code is 294.
Okay, can you leave now? Can you not? No, you can't. Like, come on, there's a cool building for you here. No? Not interested? Okay. Sure. Oh, hello. What's in here? Hmm. Cross easy to that side. Okay. Good? We got it. Not sure if this is useful at all, but might as well.
I will find you. Don't make me call the city watch.
Is that not
I'm being foolish. It was nothing.
good? Yeah, okay. Well, at least they should be fine, I think. So that's good. It was mostly the other guy, the one I choked out, that was a problem for them. Nothing interesting here. Okay, I'm getting too far from there actually. Oh, fuck me, no. I know I could just leave them dead, but I'd feel super bad. God damn it. Why do they not just go to safety? Why do they stay there? What is wrong with them? Oh my god.
Hey, don't you owe me a drink? Another night, another patrol with you.
So frustrating. Okay. We're fine, we're fine. Fuck. Damn it, can I? Thank you. That's not where... Yeah,
Impossible.
okay. Good god.
Hello there.
Oh. Hello, J. Cooksnada. Welcome in, thank you for the follow.
I don't know who you are.
Don't know if
why
you're
you
just
did this
lurking,
for
but
me
if you are,
first.
please keep doing what you're doing.
Nearby, there's a partially collapsed building. Up on what used to be the 3rd floor, you'll see a painting. I used to work there. Behind the painting, there's a safe, and the code is 294.
Okay, you better fucking survive this time, I swear. Good god. Have fun, guys. Alright, let's get painting. I just working, no problem. As long as you're enjoying it, that's all that's all I want. That I'm happy. I don't know what I was trying to say. 294. There we go. Okay, I'm quick saving this shit now, because I'm not doing that again for fucking 50th time. So we have this over here. Okay, we're getting to Sokolov here. So let's go back through that door. Ow. There we go. This just in case it's useful. There we go. Too lazy to go back all the way around. Come on, really? Thank you. Oh, this is Sokol's house, isn't it? Oh. You've got to be kidding. No comment. No comment on that. God, I was not expecting that. Oh. Good God. Okay, maybe don't go to the rooftop then. There's nothing else anyway, is there? There's this rooftop, but I don't think it's any use. Oh, it's this one, okay. Yeah. Then, yeah, okay. Alrighty. Might come back here if I think I can use one of these sneaky ways in, but let's go check out that side first. Yeah, this is like the main way. Definitely not where I want to go, I don't think. Okay, so there's nothing that way, is there? I think this is the end of the level. Oh, right. What's down here, so? Samuel is over there. Is that it? Nothing else? Nothing else, I guess. Can I, like... Oh yeah, there is a way up here. Oh, look at that. Okay. I don't think I knew about this. Interesting, that's cool. God, this game still surprises me after so many years. So, like, dude.
Can't one of our own doctors make a cure? I mean, why does it have to be a filthy foreigner like Sokolov?
Don't hesitate to go upstairs and ask the madman yourself.
I'd lose my daily elixir ration? That's stupid.
If you say so.
You two, stop chatting and wandering around. Go back to work.
Okay. I just wanted the dialogue. Did I miss anything? Don't think so. Alright, this should be my last ruin if I'm not mistaken.
Think you'll get your own squad after what happened last night?
Indeed, I believe so.
Okay, so we have 1, 2 at least. There's one up there somewhere, I think. This is gonna be a bit trickier now that I'm in the house itself. We have an arc pylon. A few of them actually, and there's a guy too. Oh, there's one here too. God, this place is full of guards. Okay. I need a game plan here. First of all, quick save. Second of all... improvise. I think I'm not gonna have a choice to knock some people out in here, because at least if I want to like be able to explore a little bit, because there's just way too many.
Could the city get any worse?
Yes, of course.
Okay. I think I'll try to get Mr. Music Box first, since he's the one that gets closest to me. Yeah, it's not great though, he's still pretty far. Ugh, I don't like this. I don't like this layout.
Is it true that more bone charms have been taken from apostates since the plague started?
Okay. Seem to be fairly safe here.
Huh? By the outsider.
Shit. I was fine until that guy went back off. Ugh.
Things are bad. Could the city get any worse?
Indeed, I believe
Shit,
so.
that's bad. That's actually bad. Damn it. Their path is not aligned properly for me to get them easily. Gonna need to wait for that one to go back up, unfortunately. Nope. 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 I mean, he's gonna stand there for forever now. No, not even. Good God. I can't do shit, man.
Will you be leaving the city during the Fugue Feast this year? No, no, no.
I need to wait for this one to go back.
I have to keep this position. He says to bring a bottle, I bring a bottle.
Got a
He
maid
says
now.
to bring food, I bring food. He says to undress, I undress.
Sucks.
You're such a charm.
Okay, now if this one can start moving, that will be great. Can you please?
What will I do now?
God damn it. Okay. New plan. How many doors do I have? 5.
After what happened last night?
Indeed, I believe so.
5. Make them count. You know what? Let's just go fucking crazy here. No, that was almost perfect. Fuck. I missed one somehow. That's fucked. Absolutely fucked. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was very satisfying, I gotta say. That was very satisfying. That was very good. Oh. Should I hide the bodies? I probably should, but I think it will be fine. I don't know, I think I knocked out everyone that will go on here. The obtuse arguments of Lady Boyle. Lady Boyle. She's not coming down here, is she? Don't think so. Oh, this is not an arc pylon. Okay. We're fine. Ideas for the Timsh statue? So Barrister Arnold Timsh feels compelled to commission a statue in his own likeness. Highly convinced of his own importance, it seems. Will I ever know the limits of men's vanity? Perhaps I will render the good barrister lost in thought as he regards himself in the looking glass. In any case, his coin will further my research. The Brigmore Witches, hey, DLC. As a reminder to myself, 4 of these blocks of fine Tivian marble are destined to decorate the Golden Cat. Madame Prudence has requested that I carve the stone into 4 of the women living together in the ruins of the old Brigmore Manor, at the edge of the city. Once they are completed and installed, I will have to visit the bathhouse in order to admire my work. Good excuse. Very good excuse.
Get up right now.
No!
When I find you, it's going to be bad.
Somebody did come down here. I don't think he saw me, so... I don't think he saw me, he just saw the bodies.
Hello? Come out.
Oh, that's such a shame, so... Damn it. I don't have any more of these, no. Okay, I'm gonna have to wait it out a little bit.
Okay, where are you?
Where is she?
I guess everything's alright now.
Yeah, sure, everything's alright.
You're somewhere around here.
That's not true. That's false.
The tanks of these damn things don't last long enough.
Okay. Alright, is there anything else here? Oh. There's the outside. Is there anything interesting outside? I don't think so. I don't imagine there will be. What about this? Elevator? Okay. Yeah, I think that seems to be it for down here. There wasn't any other notes on these. No, okay. That's what I was looking at when I got surprised. Alright, where's the mage? She's around here. Where exactly? Oh, there. Does she stay in there or does she come out? Are there two of them? I think I heard another one. I'm sorry. You'll be fine, just sleep for a while. There is another one. Does she stay there? Looks like she might. Okay. Alright. Nothing else interesting? Okay. Let's see. Damn it. Hey, look at me go. Alrighty. That's the other stairs, yeah. Alright, I think we're good then. Let's keep going up. Okay, more guards. Am I good? Yes. Oh. Mysteries of Pendy Shepherd, sure I read that, yeah. Is there anything interesting out there? Not entirely sure. The Flooded District, did I read that? No, I did not. Excerpt from a report on Dunwall by Abe Green, City Watch. Green. Before the plague turned everything to shit, Rutshore was filled with barristers and moneymen, rushing around taxing each other and whatnot. Every guard in the watch wanted that passed, and there was classy women everywhere. The whole place flooded years ago, just as the plague got real bad. People were sick and nobody was working, so the city let the dams go to rot. When the big one broke, I've heard tell, the river put it all underwater. The swanky Chamber of Commerce was there, and so was the Bloody Graves whale house. Now there's nothing but rats and gangs and who knows what. Last I heard, the captains had been using it as a quarantine for weepers. You show one sign of the plague, and it's your citizenship has been revoked. Over the wall you go, into the water. That's kind of fucked. Careful. I don't... There's a door over there, but that's about it. That's the elevator door, I think. If that's an elevator. It looked like an elevator. I feel like I remember it being an elevator. But yeah, that's about it. I have a better view here. But yeah, there's nothing else now. That's not yet seen. Bandisian Bull Rat Study. Excerpt from lab notes by Anton Sokolov. The bulk of the rodent is hardly the most interesting detail, though it is the one first remarked upon by visiting colleagues who come to study my prize from Pandysha. Upon further observation, it becomes obvious that the specimen exhibits greater cunning than its cousins native to temperate crystal. Twice in the night I have awoken to find it loose in my apartments, so a new cage had to be devised. An entertaining diversion, but a waste of my precious time. The dietary tests I have conducted have also provided some surprise. The Bendician bull rat, I can say with confidence, is not a finicky eater. With equal gusto, I have seen my little guest line upon others, smaller rats, living felines, and even the corpse flesh of a plague-dead woman found in the Redhaven River. Further study is required. I've already read that. I don't like what I'm looking at. Oh, that's a river crest, yeah. Lead darts, that's good. Couldn't need that. Where's that rune? Oh, it's up there. Okay, I'm getting close to Sokolov now. I'm getting real fucking close. Gotta remember there is at least one guard up here. I did get found earlier. Oh, it's in here, yeah.
My hopes and energies to Formula 25, which in conjunction with a high heat therapy, which came to me most vividly in a dream last night, has great potential according to the latest celestial alignment. As for test subject 312, after the characteristic sloughing of the skin, she should be dead by mid-morning tomorrow.
Yikes. That's kind of fucked.
Please, sir. Please let me go.
Awake, I see. How are you feeling?
Much worse. Do I have the plague? Please, sir. I don't want to die.
Hush now, no one's going to die.
What is this?
Okay. I wanted to let it play out a little bit more, but I was not expecting him to just straight up turn around. Did I? Yeah, let me check if there was more dialogue. I thought it was gonna I thought it was gonna stand a little bit more in front of her. I'm curious about the dialogue, so.
I now turn my hopes and energies to Formula 25, which in conjunction with a high heat therapy, which came to me most vividly in a dream last night, has great potential according to the latest celestial alignment. As
No, shit, that's not. Wrong button. Wrong button. I was trying to fill up my fucking mana thing.
I now turn my hopes and energies to Formula 25, which in conjunction with a high heat therapy, which came to me most vividly in a dream last night, has great potential according to the latest celestial alignment. As for test subject 312, after the characteristic sloughing of the skin, she should be dead by mid-morning tomorrow.
Please, sir. Please let me go.
Awake, I see. How are you feeling?
Much worse. Do I have the plague? Please, sir. I don't want to die.
Hush now, no one's going to die. You are much improved, number 312. The formula I administered to you is working exactly as it should.
Yeah,
I cannot let you go yet,
whatever.
because I have not finished with my study. But tomorrow will make all the difference.
Really? You'll release me tomorrow? I'm not gonna die.
Yes. Tomorrow I will have the guards remove you from this cell. Late morning, perhaps.
But the pain. Can't you give me something for the pain?
The guards remove you from the cell? I don't like that.
Remedies, yes, but alas, I cannot give you any. They could interfere with my research. You should thank me. Soon we will have a cure for this terrible disease, thanks to all my hard work and dedication.
And your human experimentation.
Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
What a disgusting piece of shit.
What?
Oh.
How did you get past all the guards?
Oh, there's dialogue here?
That too is quite unusual.
Interesting.
It is reminiscent of markings I've studied on cave walls far from the city. Who
Okay.
scented
Piero? That child's a fool. There's no need to be his laphound. You and I can come to an agreement. One that I'm sure will please you more than anything Piero dreamed up.
Oh yeah?
I can't say I'm surprised. I knew someone would come eventually. But you're not what I expected. There's no need for violence. We can be great friends, you and I. Will you join me and drink? Sit and talk a while. Come. We'll discuss your future. Money. Women. Whatever you want. There is much to learn from the stars for those fluent in their tongue. I could consult my astronomical charts. Is there no reasoning with you? Before you do anything rash, I think we can come to an agreement. It doesn't matter who sent you. Whatever they are paying you, I will double it, triple it. No? Well, money is not the only thing I have in abundance. Perhaps there are other rewards you seek. I see you are a determined man. Is there nothing I can offer you? Sir? Who are you? What is it you want? Money? Elixir against the plague? I don't know how you got past all the defenses, but I think I can assume if you wanted me dead, well, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
You can bet your ass.
Everything within my power to give you is yours. If you'll just let me go. I can see you are an intelligent man, so you understand there will be repercussions if you should harm me. I am the royal physician, head of the Academy of Natural Philosophy. Stay back! Have you no heart? Please! Damn it! Someone help!
Well, that works. Lieutenant Niles' report. As requested, this is a sample of the black market elixir we believe to be coming from one of the abandoned distilleries. No doubt it's inferior to your formula, or even to Pierrot's remedy, but people are desperate. We have not been able to identify the additional ingredients. Isn't it just water? What? What do you mean? Perhaps you'll have better luck, unless it's another distillery. One thing of note, some of the men of the watch claim when pressed to have purchased and used this stuff from time to time since it's cheaper than either of the popular brands. None of them report any illness or complications. So while it may not protect from the plague as well, it doesn't seem harmful. Lieutenant Christopher Niles, 2nd Dispensary Detail, Dunwall City Watch.
Thank you, whoever you are. He kept me in a cage, like an animal. The pain is horrible right now. So I'll just hide in a corner and leave when I'm feeling better.
Hopefully you will feel better.
I don't have anything to take. Oh, please, no more.
Okay. Well, hopefully you do get better. Where's Mr. Sleepy? There he is. Okay, actually, let me just check how to escape from here properly. Might just jump in the water. Okay, Samuel will be that way. Yeah, he's under there, I think. Can I just jump in the water? Will that kill me? Or kill Sokolov? Because if not, that would be the easiest way. Welp. Did Sokolov? No, okay. Doesn't kill me, but kills Sokolov. Alright. Fair enough. Damn. What a shame, though.
Huh?
Oh. Damn it. Didn't expect him to be right there. There's a chain. Can I use a chain with while carrying a body, so? Hello? Thank you.
What was
Oh shit, I thought it was going the other way. No, he just went to the ledge for some reason. Good god.
What was that?
Why are you looking in the worst way you could look to keep an eye out for stuff happening? I'm gonna have to knock his ass out at some point. I mean... Ow, that hurt. Um... Shit. We're fine, we're fine. Okay. Alright, from here I know where to go. Just keep sleeping, Mr. Sokolov. Just keep sleeping, just keep sleeping, just keep sleeping, sleeping, sleeping. Oh wait, can I even like swim with him? That's something like, does he die because he drowns because I can't swim with him? Is that what's happening? It sure is. Okay. Okay, that makes a bit more sense now. Damn. That makes quite a bit more sense. What's my best bet to bring him to Samuel, though? I guess that way. There's no way. There's no fucking way.
Probably rats. Damn.
There's no way. You never look up, my... Apparently they do sometimes. Yeah, the more I think about it, the more I might actually do a second playthrough just to kill everyone. Just to fucking kill everyone, genuinely. Did I get... Actually, did I go in there? Oops, sorry. Huh.
Spread out. There's been word of a ruckus. No details yet.
I don't know what you mean. I just remembered. Actually, can I? Fuck. Oh. There was the box that was locked somewhere. I think it was in the room besides the two guards. Jesus. I'm gonna leave you here for a minute. Fuck yes. There we go. Yeah, this box. Just want to open it. Ooh, thank you. Alright, let's find a way out now. So, where was the door that led to outside? Where was that? Like where the guards were. Was it slot there? Fuck. Shit.
Stupid god.
Can I go under with him? Yes. Was it up here? No, now I'm just going back all the way up. Yeah, I'm just back here. Okay. That's fine, that's fine.
Stupid rats.
Okay.
Plague. Elixir. Bunch of crap.
There's 3 of you here? I thought there were only 2. Escaping right now is not a problem. Escaping with Sokolov is. Because I could just drop in the water and swim, but not that easy right now. Come on, will you ever move? Yes. Great. That was stupid, that was stupid, that was stupid. Was it? Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it wasn't stupid. It was stupid, it was stupid. It was stupid. Okay. Okay, we almost have it. Almost.
Look out. We got a prowler. That's just ridiculous. Stupid rats.
Yeah, you know what? I'm kind of done. I just want to get home now. Okay, I gotta find Samuel again. Oh shit. Oh fuck. Why are there more people here now? The fuck? I got rid of all of you guys. Oh, they've been woken up? Yeah, I think they've been woken up. That makes sense. Well, I'm out of here. Hey Samuel. Got him.
The royal physician himself.
Indeed.
He made a neat job of it. Drop him here and we'll be off.
Yeah, I'm good. Ugh. This mission was a lot. Ghost never detected, really? Not even at the end there? Didn't kill anyone, low chaos. Dead or unconscious bodies found, yeah. That figured. Also, apparently Sokolov talking to me was not counted as detected. That's good. Freed all of Sokolov's test subjects. Rob Pratchett safe. Saved a stranded woman from rats. Runes found. Bonus charms. Yeah, we got everything. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Okay, the Haunt Pits pub. The royal physician Anton Sokolov is now in the custody of the Loyalists. Through Sokolov, it will be possible to strike directly at those closest to the Lord Regent. How cooperative will the most brilliant men in the Empire will be? He must be swayed or coerced into telling what he knows. I might call it here for now, though. This just saved, right? It did not. Really? Okay, we'll wait then. Since I can save apparently from here.
Set up a cell for Sokolov in the old kennel. Shackles and everything. It'll be a shock, him waking up in the straw and dog poop. But from what I hear, he's woken up worse places. Guess we all have at that.
Bow, bow, bow. Bow, 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 bow. Actually, let me talk to everyone, then I'm probably gonna go sleep and then I'll call it, I think.
I doubt a dozen soldiers could have done it better. Sokolov's knowledge will enable us to strike at the Lord Regent directly, and ultimately help you get your life back. Soon, we won't have to hide in the shadows. The royal physician is brilliant, but he was a fool to protect the Lord Regent. Sokolov gave us the elixir, the war machines. He could have made us a great nation. Now he pays the price for siding with a tyrant. You have my thanks, sir. If you wish to get some sleep, now is a good time.
I will, but I will talk to people before.
I hope they don't have to hurt him. He's done some good in his time. Made that elixir against the plague, he did. Clever man, Sokolov. Look what it led him to.
Samuel. Oh, okay.
Don't worry. We won't start the interrogation without you.
Absolutely stunning acts of destruction, I expect.
Give me a length of rope and a bucket of seawater. That's all I need to break a man. The royal physician has a subtle mind. He may attempt to trick us. He's only a natural philosopher. How tough could he be?
Yeah.
Good work, Corvo. Get some rest and we'll take a crack at him tomorrow.
He was very weak when I confronted him, or
Corvo?
when he confronted me, I guess.
Can I tell you something? I have a secret retreat nearby that may come in handy if the
Yeah.
city watch ever kicks in the doors. It's an abandoned apartment across the street from the bar. I don't think anyone else here knows about it, but I'm guessing I can trust you. The key is stashed under my bunk upstairs. If there's ever trouble, you can go there for safety. I know I will.
Thank you, Cecilia.
Yes, Mr. Corvo. I'll make sure your quarters are clean, sir. So much dust. It must blow down from the upper city. They let that Emily run wild. It's not how I do it, if you don't mind my saying. Restless hands do no good, they say.
Alright. Anybody else in here?
Attention Dunwall citizens. Be aware that looting of evacuated areas is a...
Lord Pendleton has departed for the evening to attend to matters at the manor. It concerns the departure of his brothers. I'm sure you understand.
Of course.
I want you to know I understand your actions with regards to Custis and Morgan. They were horrible men. Lord Pendleton shares little with his brothers, other than name. The stories I could tell you about what my lord's older brothers did to some of the staff, especially the maids. It's beyond my station, but I must say they were beasts, dressed as nobles. Lord Pendleton will return on the morrow.
All right.
The royal physician is badly shaken up. I'll have the servants see to his new quarters. Take a night's rest, and then you can help interrogate him.
Where do I find a good meal around here? If you think prison food's bad, you should see what the Abbey serves its captives. I think the overseers make it themselves. I wonder what Piero thinks of our guest.
Yeah, true.
I still wake up thinking I'm in the stocks. The nursemaid Callista is quite fetching, huh? Or maybe I've been in prison too long.
Okay.
I'll sleep like the dead tonight.
We're getting closer to reaching our goals, but our position is becoming more dangerous. You don't house and feed a half-dozen people without leaving telltale traces. Riverboats pass day and night, and the looters are going to start gathering once they're sure the plague has burned the place out. I conclude, if our enemies are not dead by the month of wind, we will be. There's a sadness in Emily, but she's strong. Weathering the death of her mother just a half a year ago better than most grown men I've known. Once we take Dunwall Tower, I'll see that her life is better. I've always thought that I'd command the Navy in her name. Sometimes I wonder if I shouldn't just take the title Lord Regent and do it properly.
No.
We're getting closer.
Have a look entry 4. He is returning now with Anton Sokolov over his shoulder. Simply amazing. Not only can Corvo project lethal force, he can do an extraction that I didn't think possible. And soon the two greatest minds of the Empire will be here, together. If I could get these rivals to cooperate, they could create weapons and tools of unimaginable power. If I could command both of them, well, I'll wait and measure their dispositions toward one another before following that line of thought. Pendleton's not here, but we might have a log entry.
Lord Pendleton, Memoirs, Chapter 41, in which I bed two of the Boyle women.
Okay. The fucking Boyle womans, man.
It was the month of rain, and to counter the gloom, the Boyle ladies hosted 3 nights of merriment by invitation only. Lydia was most fetching in lavender pants and a tunic of yellow silk. She was pleased with me from the moment I walked in the door, with my manservant bringing not 1 but 2 cases of effervescent wine from the south. In fact, I had come laden with gifts, such that all 3 Boyle women soon took notice, and they set out to make me more than welcome. We uncorked the wine right away, and as night fell, we... Wallace! Found these interruptions.
Okay.
La di da di da di da, la di da di da, la di da di da, di da da da, la di da da da.
Okay.
Oh, how do you do, sir? I apologize for my state. I could use a long soak in the bath. So relaxing. What a treat that would be, hmm? You're a bold one, Master Corvo, snatching the royal physician like that.
Indeed.
That poor man. I hope you won't be too rough with him.
Alright. Let's go see Emily now. How do I get to her again? I always forget. Where's the window? Here. Hello? Thank you.
Please be as quiet as you can. It took forever for Emily to fall asleep. Poor dear. It's okay, Emily, I'm here. She seems happier when you're here. Though I know you have important things to do. Out there in the city. She still has bad dreams. Though it's understandable given all she's been through. Sometimes she calls out your name. Sometimes she cries for her mother. Little Emily. Someday soon an empress. But only an exhausted child at the moment. Poor girl. She's been through so much. I hate to say it, but we're counting on you to make things better. I'll stay right here, by her side all night.
Please, please leave a candle for me. It gets dark in here and I can't see my mother. I just want a candle. Where is Corvo?
There's hardly a need to work on table etiquette. She knows it all, even if she chooses not to employ it. She'd rather hold her spoon by the wrong end and pretend it's a sword. Then suddenly she changes and she's all manners, asking for a tea party. I tried to oblige her, but I have little to work with. No proper plate. Instead of a cloth napkin, I've only the bar rack. Ale mugs instead of teacups.
Yeah.
I've asked for things befitting her, but they have their minds on other things. For now, Emily and I decided to make a pretend dinner using paper and little things she's found here and there. On the floor, I suppose. Not right for a princess, but it'll have to do.
I think she's okay with it.
Must you?
Sorry.
Emily needs rest.
Sorry.
No! Mother, run! No! Corvo!
God, how traumatizing will that be?
I don't like your eyes.
Jesus.
Why are they so black? Stop looking at me.
Why is she dreaming about the outsider? I can't wait to finally play the second game, man. I feel like there's so much stuff that I want to know that will be answered there. Well, have a good sleep. Alright, I think I'm good then. Oh. Lord Pendleton's reward. Corvo, this matter with my brother has not been pleasant at all, so I don't wish to discuss it further. However, I really must thank you. I've heard that you found some other means of neutralizing them without taking their lives. Ingenious. Wherever they are, even if they are miserable, they are alive at least. So perhaps someday I will see them again. Lord Trevor Pendleton. Damn, okay. Note from Piero. Corvo, thank you for getting me a live weeper. This is going to be invaluable for my old friend at the Academy of Natural Philosophy, as living plague specimens are quite difficult to procure. Rest assured my colleague will handle this situation as humanely as possible. I don't know how I feel about that now. Ew. Kinda very ew. Okay, time to rest. Do we get a dream? Doesn't seem like it.
Corvo, wake up! You were making funny faces while you were sleeping. I decided to nap here in your room while Callista was taking her bath. She told me if there's ever trouble, I should always run here.
You can say whenever you want. Emily, you should head back to you. Nah, she can stay, obviously.
Callista will come get me when she's done with her bath.
Yeah.
Thanks, Corvo. It makes me feel better.
Alright, finally a save. So we're gonna call it here for tonight. That mission took a bit longer than it was quite a bit longer than I remembered. Like, just getting to Sokolov was quite a bit longer. Still fun though, still a very fun one. The next one will be very interesting. I'm excited about it. It's probably, it might be my favorite in the whole game, just because of how different it is. But that's gonna be for next week. Tomorrow we will finally start Disco Elysium, which I'm very excited about, so be here for it if you are interested in that. Otherwise, everyone, thanks for watching, for lurking, for hanging out as usual. Have a good day, have a good night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.